So on November 17th of just this year, we lost Charlie Dominici. Original Dream Theater singer, he was actually in the band at the tail end of being called Majesty in 1987. He sang on the debut Dream Theater album When Dream and Day Unite in 1989, but was replaced shortly after. The band thought he wouldn't be the right voice for the direction they wanted to go in, and it seems like most of the fans agree, and this is kind of where I struggle to understand. I think his voice would have worked just fine. I actually prefer him to James LaBrie, and the debut Dream Theater album is kind of quickly becoming my favorite album of theirs, since I was kind of late to it, despite getting into Dream Theater in the early 2000s. Charlie would start a band called Dominici in 2004 as he re-emerged onto the prog metal scene. 15 years had passed, and he returns to the same genre that he was a part of in the late 80s. The Dominici band released a trilogy of albums called the '03 Trilogy between 2005 and 2008. Famous prog label Inside Out Music would sign the band for albums 2 and 3 based off the strength of the debut, which was self-released. I mean, in my opinion, these are prog metal classics. They seem to be kind of slept on by many, including myself, until just a couple years ago when I randomly found 2007's Part 2 of the '03 Trilogy in a used bin at a local music store for $1. I recognized the name, and as soon as I flipped it over and saw the Inside Out name, it was an instant purchase. That said, I really had no idea what to expect. I mean, Charlie had not done anything for so long, I didn't know what the album would sound like or how Charlie would sound, and I wasn't familiar with any of the musicians. Needless to say, my expectations were blown away. What I got was an album that could contend with just about any of the prog metal bands of the time. For a comparison, I'm going to use, yeah, you guessed it, Symphony X. That's just how good it is. So if you're a prog metal fan and haven't heard the Dominici albums, go get them while you still can, and you'll thank me later. And if you're into early Fates Warning and Queensryche, check out that first Dream Theater album with Charlie. I think you'll be surprised. R.I.P. Charlie. Thanks for all the brilliant tunes.